Rydall here, founder of the Law of Emergence and author of the best-selling book Emergence. And I'm talking today about how the only resource is the source. Or what I like to say, we must learn to stop leaning on resources and learn how to lean on and live from the source within us. And I also want to let you know that that's something very exciting. I'm giving away my brand new book, The 7 Wealth Activators, and how it'll help you open up the 7 core channels of abundance so you can begin to generate this energy of abundance into every area of your life and really manifest and meet all your deepest needs, even and especially during very challenging times like this, where all the outer appearances seem to tell you that you don't have enough and there isn't going to be enough. And I'm going to talk about that, but before you forget, make sure to click on the link in this video and get that free book and training, where I go deep into what these 7 wealth activators are, or these 7 gifts that give you everything, that really turn on your divine power plant and let you begin generating the energy of real wealth, the real currency of your life, so that you can meet your deepest needs and manifest the life that you want, regardless of the conditions you face. And we're talking about how the only real resource is the source. And this work came through me during a time of a great crisis. It came through during a recession. I was broke, I was jobless, I was literally suicidal, living on mac and cheese in a one-room apartment, and I was just literally living on a prayer, about to be evicted. Bill collectors were calling me. I was truly in a dark night. And one night, some of you may have heard this story, but it never gets old to me because it was such a crazy experience. But one night, while I was pretty desperate and pretty pissed off, let me just be honest, I sat down in my fake leather chair and I laid the gauntlet down to whatever God there may be in heaven or earth or beyond. And I said, either this stuff, this spiritual, metaphysical mumbo jumbo, either this is real or it's a bunch of BS. Or I'm just not getting it. But one way or the other, I'm going to know the truth either way tonight, because I'm not getting out of this chair until I do. They're going to have to pry my cold, lifeless, penniless hands from this faux leather meditation chair, because I'm not leaving. And I had never been so righteously indignated. It's like it was my Gary Sinise moment in Forrest Gump, where he's at the top of the mast and he's railing at the heavens and he's like, "Bring it on, God." And that was me. I think that was pre-Forrest Gump, actually. And I sat there and I meditated, and the daylight turned to dusk and the crickets came out for their nightly chorus, and I was wrestling and being pinned to the mat by my inner demons over and over again. And then at some point in the wee hours of the morning before the sun came up, it was like a voice spoke to me. It spoke through me. And it was thundering. It was like, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." And I looked around and half expected to see Charlton Heston standing there, right? Playing Moses with a tablet in his hand. And of course the voice was coming from within. It wasn't outside of me. And it began to download a message that profoundly shattered all of my concepts and paradigms about how life was created, how wealth was generated, the real source and substance of real wealth, not just dollar bills. In fact, it made it very clear to me that dollar bills are not wealth. And it made it very clear to me what wealth really was and where it was and how to begin to generate it. And within a matter of, first of all, after that, a peace came over me, like a peace I'd never experienced before. And I walked around the next few days just in peace, even though the phone was still ringing with bill collectors. The landlord was still showing up at my front door, literally looking like a landlord out of one of those sitcoms, with the bathrobe on, her hair's in curlers, and a cigarette with an ash that was always precariously long. And I was, just expecting for it to fall. No kidding. It would have been hilarious if I wasn't so depressed. But a few days later, I got a call, and I ended up getting a job. For 2 days' work, I made more money than I ever made in a year. But it was something so much more important was revealed through that demonstration that turned my whole life around and never again made me a victim of circumstances, of economies, of government craziness, of job loss, and all the things going on in the markets. I'm not saying I didn't have challenges, but I knew what the principles and practices were to thrive during times of challenge, to not contract around the condition and become smaller on the other side, but to expand in the face of contraction, expand my channels, learn how to generate more abundance, more power, more peace, more joy, more creativity, and always at the end of that, I would have more. Not just more possessions, but a greater possession of myself, of my life, of my purpose, and of my true sovereign power. And if you want to know the whole message that got downloaded and you want to master these principles, the 7 wealth activators or the 7 gifts, which is really about opening up the 7 channels of abundance that you can do right now, even if you're locked down at your house. Everything you need is right there. Just click on the link and in the video, check out the 7 wealth activators, get the free book, the free training, put it to work today. And you will begin to experience a shift immediately. Look at all the comments in the video section once you join for free, and you'll see all the breakthroughs people are already having. Major ahas, major shifts in perception, in energy, and in activations. And so we're talking today about how the only resource is the source. And yes, I'm talking about God. And if you don't like the word God, call it source, call it higher power, call it Uncle Joe. It doesn't matter. What's important to know is that within you is the source, a portal to infinite potential, infinite prosperity. The same creative faculty that was there in the Big Bang, that is there in all of nature. The same creative faculty that seemingly takes a tiny little seed and turns it into a massive oak tree. That same creative faculty that seemingly out of nothing can create everything. That faculty is in you. And this is what all great masters have taught. And it's no mistake and no accident that most of the great masters came during times of great challenge and great suffering and great crises, enslavement and oppression and war and disease and all of that. They came because during that time, the ego starts to become very fragile. The veil between the world of appearances and manifest forms versus reality itself, the quantum field of infinite possibility, becomes very thin. And there is a greater potential to tap directly back in to our real home, to our real source, to the real source of all creation, to the real power, and begin to live there and to live from there. It's more available to us than ever during times of crisis. And that's why the great masters often always show up then. Now, I'm not claiming to be a great master. I'm just telling you, historically, this is what occurs. And what their message is, and my message for you today is that the outer world of conditions, people, places, princes and principalities, kings and queens and presidents and economies and Fed chairmen and jobs and all of that is not and has never been your source of safety, security, support, or supply. The source of all of that is and always will be within you. And this is not my message, and this is not airy-fairy, and this is not New Age gobbledygook. This is the universal ancient principle. This is the gospel. This is the God spell. This is the good news. This is the pearl of great price that the man would sell everything he has for. Because when you have this, when you know how to connect with the real source within you, and then how to open out the channels to allow it to flow, to circulate through your body, your mind, your heart, into your life, into your work, into your relationships, that perfect pattern of infinite potential, that seed of real purpose and potential planted in the soil of your soul finally has the light and the nutrients and the power and the energy to blossom and to grow. And what it looks like to the world and to you is healings and opportunities and a way that appears out of no way. The years the locusts are restored unto you. All the walls that were there are gone. the problems that are there begin to dissolve because you begin to evolve. This is what happens. This is your natural way. You are not here to solve the problems or save the world or even save yourself. You want to serve this emerging power within you, this emerging vision within you, this real source within you. Not a man in the sky, but the source of all men and women, that light that lighteth up every man and woman that cometh into the world, which is within you. The one I am is you, okay? That Buddha mind, that Christ nature, that Atman, that Tao, that infinite storehouse of riches and of wisdom and of power and of peace and of joy is within you. It's your true nature. This is not merely a theory. This is not merely some affirmation or aphorism or pie in the sky. This is the great principle of liberation. This is the great principle of success. And I'm not merely talking about law of attraction. Law of attraction is a relative linguistic principle or term that, because it looks like things are being attracted. But when you try to attract things, you're often saying, I don't have it yet. And by the law of mind and manifestation, you often manifest more of not having. Even if you manifest a bigger paycheck, you often find yourself broke at a higher income bracket. And that's best case scenario most times. But the law of emergence, which is that it allows you to tap in to what's already there and come into alignment with it and open out a way for life to begin to flow and to blossom through you naturally. That is the secret of real long-term success, real safety in a world that can never give you safety, real abundance in a world that can never give you anything real. Now, I'm not knocking the world of appearances. I'm not knocking the beautiful Mother Earth. I'm not knocking any of your experiences. It's a beautiful work of art. It's a beautiful masterpiece being painted on the canvas of time and space. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Like any great, wonderful work of art and a work of heart, this world called Earth and humankind is beautiful, but it's not the real world. This is why Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world. This is why Buddha taught to release all craving and aversion and to go within and find nirvana. This is why Lao Tzu talked about the Tao. There's an invisible reality which is actually the real reality. And it's right here. And you think that's woo-woo. Well, your favorite music is broadcasting right where you are right now. Music that would light you up and lift you up, other information that would inspire you, the exact information that would give you the guidance to take the next best step. It's broadcasting. Other than this right here, it's actually broadcasting in your field right where you are, but it's not manifest. You can't see it, touch it, taste it, feel it, unless you tune the dial of your radio to the station where that broadcast is on. And when your frequency matches that frequency, that station becomes manifest. In other words, you have a manifestation. All right? Where was that music before? Or those ideas? They weren't down the street. They weren't in the future. They're right here. But they weren't manifest until your frequency matched and you had the right structure to bring it forth into manifestation. Well, the same is true for all the qualities, the beat of abundance, the symphony of success, the rhythm of joy, the health, the wealth, the wisdom, the genius, the love, the companionship, the family, the work. Everything you need to be all you were created to be is right where you are, in the field of your consciousness. But you must know how to tune into it, how to come into alignment with it, how to create the inner and sometimes outer structures that support it. And then it manifests. It manifests through you. It manifests around your body, because you're not just your body. You're not even really in a body. The body is in your consciousness. So it manifests in your field, just like the radio station manifests, just like there's an oak already in the field of the acorn. When the conditions are right, oak unfolds in time and space. When the conditions are right for you, your destiny unfolds. And it does not matter what the outer conditions are. I really want you to hear that. That I'm not diminishing how scary and difficult times may seem right now, or for some people all the time, right? It really does appear like there's a lack, there's a loss. You don't have enough, there's not enough. But if you tap into the source, you become one with the one with the creator of all, one with the creative power of all, and you will become a light in your family, in your area of work, and ultimately in the world. And I promise you, you will manifest manna from heaven. There will be water coming from a stone. You will be able to manifest your needs. If there's only one person on the planet that has what you need, they will find a way to your door. I know that sounds hyperbolistic, but I want to make a point. You don't want to focus on the outer resources. I'm not saying don't be a good steward of resources. I'm not saying be foolish with them. I'm not saying waste your money or waste your time as if you have all the money and time in the world. You don't. You don't have all the time in the world, right? You have all the time spiritually, but there will be a final day to this incarnation. Don't waste a minute. You may have all of the infinite abundance spiritually, but don't waste what you have that is manifest. Don't waste it. Invest it, circulate it in your time, talent, and treasure. Develop yourself now more than ever. Develop your life's work. Develop your character. Invest in the things that will produce a return on that investment long term. Don't shrink. Don't wither. Don't hide. Don't hole out for everything to go away. Now is the time to dig your roots deep. Now is the time to get as much support as you can. Now is the time to understand how to stop leaning on resources and lean on the source, which is your real resource. Then you'll understand a key principle. There is never a lack of resources. There's only a lack of resourcefulness. And you can always become more resourceful. Resourceful. Full of source again. You with me? You picking up what I'm putting down? So we don't lean on resources. We're learning to lean on the source. Just breathe with me, because it's flowing through right now. All of life is for you. All of life is within you. All of life is on your side. But now we have to get on our own side. And thank you, everybody. I see your comments. Thank you so much for being here. Share this, comment below. I really, this work was born during a crisis. It turned my life around. It's turned around thousands and thousands of people's lives during all manner of crises, bankruptcies and divorces and physical challenges and job losses and during recessions, because it's not personal. It's not some get-rich-quick, trendy thing. It's universal, proven principles. And I'm giving away the free training right now. Just click on the link in this video, the 7 Wealth Activators, and you will learn how to open up all 7 channels of your abundance and a whole lot more. Multiple books and videos where I'm going to walk you step by step through how to do this. Now more than ever, we need to protect ourselves from the worldly beliefs of lack and limitation, worry, doubt, and fear. Now more than ever, those are the most dangerous viruses. Those are the viruses that will get in us, that will be unseen and undetected and asymptomatic for a lot longer, until before we know it, our whole map of reality and our whole capacity to create our life has been completely diminished and even destroyed. So get that book, get that training, click on that link, it's free. Share it with your loved ones. Go work on it today. You have everything you need in your house right now to start turning on that inner divine power plant and generating this real currency of wealth and abundance in your life. The real substance of wealth and abundance, which is not dollar bills or stocks or bonds. Those are the symbols, the outer symbols. They're fine as far as they go, but the real source is what you want to be connected to, is what you want to be leaning on and living from. And then no matter what happens in the outer world, you will continue to generate your deepest needs. That's really the message I want you to hear today. That's the good news. That's the gospel. We want to snap out of the world spells and awaken to the God spell, which is saying, you are my beloved, in whom I am so well pleased, and all that I have is yours. The fields are white unto the harvest. The cattle on 1,000 hills are yours. All of the earth and the fullness thereof, it's all yours. But you must seek me. You must turn to me. You must let go of anxious thinking and seek first the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of wholeness, the inner reality of eternal goodness, the source of creation, which is within you. It's within you right now. And life is standing on its tippy toes, just so eager to pour itself through you and as you like never before. I'm telling you what I know for sure. And I'm here with you. We're in this together. I am loving you and supporting you and committed to doing whatever it takes to help you and all of us take our life and the world to the next level together. So I hope this helps. This is your daily inspiration. I love you. I appreciate you. And until next time, remember, live authentically, love unconditionally, and follow your destiny. Stay inspired.